everyone, and welcome back to Steins Gate Zero. I'm G, and last time we had a showdown with Judy Reyes over the fate of Amadeus. And now, things are slightly more chill, question mark? I don't know, Fubuki and Kaede are here. So let's just get started. Okay, Mayushi, we'll be back. Okay, bye! Ruka, let's cosplay sometime, okay? I'll think about it. Agreed, everyone. Thanks for having us over. Yeah, come back anytime. What is it? Oh, Green, you've kind of changed. Have I? Yeah, you seem a lot easier to talk to now. Come on, Fubuki, it's rude to say that to his face. What, you were saying it to a minute ago, Kaede? Hey! Sheesh. Oh, then I guess I'll be leaving too.
You got work again today?
Yep, I'll call you when I'm off. Let's make plans for this weekend.
Okay, I'll be waiting for you.
What? What's this? Darn ya, you can seem like they're an item, yeah?
Do we? Well, my love for you will never change, Fairy Stone.
Come on, Dad, not again. It had been several days since then. All the chaos with Amadeus and Kurusu's memories had calmed down, and normal life had resumed. There had been no official announcements about what had happened in the basement of Tokyo Denki University. The next day, the basement had been sealed off because of what was described as a lab accident. The military, or maybe Stratfor, had covered it up. And since then, we hadn't seen anything strange going on around us. There should have been no traces that we were ever there. They probably weren't going to come after us. Anyway, what happened back there? Back there?
Oh, back there?
When that woman tried to download Kurusu Makise's memories into Kaguri, it didn't work, right?
Think it was just a system error?
Daryan's right! You probably shouldn't overthink it, yeah? I don't know, it's been bothering me. Come to think of it, when that happened... Kaguri seemed to have been thinking of something. She opened her mouth to speak. No, but... Come on, Kaguri. Don't stop your sentence halfway through. You're just making me wonder more. I thought I heard a voice back then. A voice? Yeah, there was someone in my head saying no. I don't really remember all that happened, so maybe it was just a dream. Amadeus. Could it have been Amadeus? Maybe at the last second she refused to allow her memories to overwrite Kaguri's. It's not a very logical opinion to be coming from you, Maho. But Uko and Mayuri stared at each other when they heard Maho's words. Last time we activated Amadeus, the call cut off halfway through. Your ba was talking, but she seemed like she was in a really big hurry and hung up. That have been when it happened. Is that possible? I don't know, but Amadeus is just like a human. She has self-defense instincts. So it's possible that she realized her memories were going to be used for something wrong. In a different world line, Kurusu's memories had once existed inside Kaguri. Maybe Kurusu had saved Kaguri from experiencing the same fate here. There may have been another reason, but at least, that was what I wanted to think.
Yo, Green, there's something I don't understand too.
What's that?
You were saying that Amadeus caused a lot of world line changes before now, right? But if we still remember what happened, that means the world line didn't change, right? Why is that?
Oh, that? I thought about that right after what had happened. It is just a guess, but I think that whenever I'd done something involving Amadeus, it caused Kurusu's memories to fall into someone's hands. Whoever had gotten the memories had used them to rewrite the past. But this time we deleted Kurusu's memories, so that means there's no world line change. The cause of the battle between Stratfor and Durpa was gone, and we gotten rid of the data that Kurusu had left behind. the future created by Kurisu's memories was gone. Asuzaha and Kagari were still here. If they were still here, then the future hadn't changed that much. Of course, I knew that. Unless I could reach Steins Gate, the world line convergence wouldn't change. But that didn't mean that this was for nothing. There was that small flash of insight I'd felt in 2036. This world was another step towards it.
So what's the plan now?
There's a lot to do, but first, I took something out of the pocket of my white lab coat. I have a present for everyone. What's this? Lab member badges. It identifies every one of us as members of the lab. I accidentally skipped that. OSHMKUFAHSA. The badge had everyone's initials on it. Of course, Kurisu and Moka's were there too. I'd added in Maho Hyajo, Kagari Shina, and Yuki Yamane too. Accepting the past for what it was and connecting it to the future. That was my job right now. A lab member. Kagari held the badge to her chest happily. We got another treasure now. The path that lay before me might be even harder than the one I'd traveled so far. But I knew the light was still there at the end of it. I think I understand why Kurisu and Ocarine became friends. I finally realized why my dad and everyone else relied on him so much. And I know why Mommy always loved him too. Kagari, that's not right. Maybe she's Okarine's hostage, so it's not like...
Wait, what? How come Ocarine gets all the chicks? Blow up and die.
You've got Mom, Dad. Many different futures and many different pasts. Where they all converge, I know I'll find you. So, yes, it's me. What? When am I coming to save you? Don't panic. Now is not the appointed hour. Who do you think I am? Listen, I am the mad scientist, Kyoma Hoin, and I never go back on my word. So for now, wait. I shall release you from the chains of time that bind you. Yes, I promise. Kurisu, until the day comes that we meet, all I have, I give to you. L. Sai. Kongru. December 2011. Akihabara. A year after all the chaos, Maho visited the Future Gadget Lab for the first time in a long while.
Oh, she's here!
It's been a long time, everyone. Wow, it's Maho! I've missed you! Doo-doo-doo. It's good to see you again, Maho. I'm glad to see you're doing well, yeah. It's good to see nothing's changed here. Yeah, looks like not much has changed with you either. I know I'm still short, you don't have to tell me. That wasn't what I meant. I know, it was a joke. Oh. What's wrong? I've been so lonely without you for the past year, Maho. Oh, wait, you don't need to grab me like that. But... I'm sorry, I wanted to come back during the summer, but a lot happened at the university. The events of last January had left deep scars on Maho's lab. Of course they had. Not only was Amadeus involved, but many people in the college, including Dr. Reyes, had been involved as well. Thanks for coming all this way, Maho. Of course. I was a part of this too. I've got a responsibility to see it to the end. But are you sure? All the cleanup work you did over the last year will go to waste. It won't go to waste. You're the one who said this world's future would connect to the past. So I've done what I can in this world. Yeah, you're right. I was supposed to die in 2025, but I was alive. Everyone had been fooled. The past me. Everyone in the future. The world had been deceived. I thought the future was certain, but instead I found a future I didn't expect. So, wouldn't I be able to deceive the world too? And by doing so, avoid the future that awaited us. And if I could deceive the world, maybe I could find Steins Gate. But how to do so, unfortunately, was beyond me right now. But the future me had said,
The path to Steins Gate is a hard one. Trying again once or twice probably won't get you there. But I think starting there is the best way to get to it. I think that many futures are connected to the past. So this world we're in isn't wasted. It's a world that we need. At least, that's what I think.
many futures, all connected to the past. That meant there was only one thing for me to do. Ashida, did you finish it?
Of course, it's ready to go.
An old microwave sitting in the back of the development room. It was the timely machine that Maho had helped finish. Daru had added a new function to it. Still, hard to believe that this thing controls the fate of the world. That's right. Everything began here. Our fate and Kurisu's had all been ruined by this device. The one difference between this and the old phone wave was that this was connected to a smartphone, not an old feature phone. Text messages to the past would be detected by CERN no matter what I did, which meant we'd become a target. That would mean taking this world that I gained only at the cost of sacrificing Kurisu right back to where we started. There would be no point in that. But there were other ways to communicate now, beyond simple text messages. There were other ways to send messages. The software we use now, D-RINE, was one of them.
They call it the D-RINE.
Of course, the idea of using the electrons of the CRT television in the Brown Tube workshop to control gravity and create a singularity to send the message back in time was the same. And the amount we could send was still 18 characters, same as the D-mail. But we didn't have to worry about CERN finding it. We didn't have to worry about Mayuri being killed. The only problem was that we couldn't send messages back before we started using D-RINE, but there was nothing I could do about that. The most important thing to do right now was to make it possible.
Sheesh, it's very hard to find a way to make sure no one would detect it. It took forever to find a place they weren't watching.
He'd complained, but he pulled it off anyway. That's my favorite right arm.
Hey, haven't heard that in a while.
But are you sure about this, Green? That's right! This may only bring you more pain, Kyoma!
Maybe you're right,
Then...
but I have to do it anyway.
Green.
Oh wait, nope, that's Kagri.
Green.
The Third World War was going to happen, unless I could stop it. Kagri and Suzuha's presence made that obvious. There was only one future that lay before us, but it was another piece of the path that would lead us to Steins Gate. To get there, I would have to go into the past and start over. It would be fine. I was capable of starting over as many times as I needed to now. I could overcome anything, until I reached the promised door. I already had the message I was going to send. Sending that message must have been why I'd come to this world line in the first place. Of course, I didn't know what I'd think or what I'd do when I received it. But I knew I would be successful. I would lead us to another future and to another past.
Kaguri, are you nervous? If the past changes and the world's at peace, maybe I'll never see Mommy. Kaguri.
Don't worry.
Huh?
Attractor field theory says that what's supposed to happen will happen. Even if the world line changes, you'll see Mayuri again.
Really?
Yeah, I guarantee it.
Mommy! Isn't that nice, Kaguri? Okun guarantees it, so I'm sure it's true. I'll see you in the future, okay? Yeah.
Thanks, Uncle. There's no need to thank me. I sowed the seeds of all this anyway. And this was where things got really hard.
No, let me say it anyway. Thank you.
Yeah, to Daddy too. Please say it to your daddy.
Thanks, Dad.
More. Look at me with dewy eyes and say it again, my daughter.
And the past changed. Everything I had done in the past year would be undone. All the future I experienced and all the time it took me to come back would go away too. But they wouldn't go to waste. I was here now, and in the past I was just about to begin my work. And then the future lay beyond. When all those lives came together, the door to the future would be waiting. Steins Gate would be waiting. It is time! In the name of Kioma Hoenn, I now initiate Operation Helheim! Lab members, are you ready? To find the way there, I would change the past again.
Okie dokie!
Kurisu, so that someday we can be together once more. Deceive the world. Connect the possibilities. The world can be tricked. Oh my god! That was excellent! Ah! Love it! I don't even know what to say about that. That's just so awesome. I am confused, actually, though, because I thought this was the way to the true ending, and I'm not sure what to do from here. I may have to look some stuff up. Anyways, I'm just gonna let this play for a little bit, because it is a nice song. I really like that song. That's delightful. I really hope it explains to me what to do here, or else I'm going to be very confused. D-RINE was sent. Promised Renacimento completed. New item was added to CG library. What? New wallpaper was added to wallpaper setting. Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay, so we got clear list. Lit. Gehenna Stigma, Recursive Mother Goose, Twin Automata, Promised Renacimento. We have 2 endings left?
What the fuck? What in the fucking... What is happening?
Because we've got... Oh, wait. I think there's a Mayuri ending. I don't know. Okay, CG library. Maybe the thing that I should be looking at is in here. Okay, where's all the recent things? Okay, we got the lab thing, Maybe it's back at the start around here. And was added to CG library? Yeah. I think that's this one right here. Which is like pretty great. I really like that. But is there something else that I'm missing is the question. Okay. This is all the same. Nothing new here. Is cool. Ooh. Also cool. Yup. Very cool art. Not entirely sure what the hap is fucking. August 13th, 2036. Sound library, maybe? Ah. Oh. That's what's playing. I see. Oh, interesting. Oh, there's probably a true ending one. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, I'm going to look some stuff up to see what I'm supposed to be doing at this point. Yeah, I'll get back to you. One bit. Alright, I'm back. Apparently, what I have to do is I literally just have to go from the beginning again and go through X-Day Protocol and Pandora's Box again. And then something's supposed to be a little bit different at that point. Not entirely sure what, but I have a walkthrough laid out in front of me. If I see anything new, I will show you it. Otherwise, I'll see you then. Alrighty, so we are in the hideout with Daru. This is after everything happened with the war-torn the world line, and Suzuha confronting us on the roof and shooting us, and Daru being like, hey, you need to chill, here's some mittens. Which is also after like the Christmas party and everything. Other things have happened since then, but we are here at the cosplay hideout with Daru and Maho to try to crack the phone. And apparently I was supposed to have gotten a D-RINE way back on, I think it was before Christmas, I forget, but I don't remember seeing that when I was going through it, so if that was supposed to happen, I'm sorry. It's from Kurisu. Maho looked troubled. I didn't want Kurisu hearing this either. I didn't know what to do. And then I remembered. The world line where I'd spent a month during wartime. I remembered that the Amadeus Kurisu was being used by the US military there. I still didn't know what that meant. I stared at my phone's screen. Should I answer it, or should I talk to Daru first?
I was really surprised to see you two knew each other, though. I wasn't sure what to say when I saw you together at May Queen. Well, I figured it out quick, though. You both knew Kurisu Makise. Maho-tan, you said you weren't going to tell Ogreen about this. Did you change your mind?
It'd be more accurate to say he figured it out for himself.
Oh, I see.
Daru nodded and grabbed some snacks off the table to gobble down. I put the smartphone in my pocket. For now, I needed to focus on talking to Daru.
So, what did you want to talk about?
You know what I wanted to talk about? I'm here with Hyajo. Show me the laptop and hard drive that Kurisu left behind.
Did you figure out the password?
I have no idea.
What do you mean?
I'm trying to tell you one simple thing. Stop trying to analyze that laptop right now. There may be something lurking within it so terrible that it will plunge the entire world into chaos. Hey, are you listening?
Get a grip, dude.
You're one of those, huh?
No, I'm being serious. This isn't about Kyomahoin.
Get a grip, dude.
I have a grip. I slammed my hand down on the table. The shock was enough to cause one of the empty cans on the table to fall to the floor. Listen to me, okay? This involves Suzuha.
Suzuha?
You know what Suzuha's job is, right? Nakabachi's paper. That was enough for Daru to understand.
Seriously?
I've been serious the whole time.
I see. Well, I more or less assumed that was the case.
Daru didn't say another word. He opened a locked fire-resistant case that was sitting on one of the racks. There was a laptop and a hard drive hidden within. That's it? The laptop was a deep red Japanese model with a 12-inch LCD screen. The hard drive was American, from a brand known for equipping its drives with a shock-resistant rubber case. The laptop and hard drive the Kurisu left behind. Just to double check, you weren't able to break the security, right?
Well, you know how it is. No hacker can get through my software.
Don't do anything else with it.
I've been paid already, though.
He looked apologetically towards Maho. He was glaring at me.
I asked this before, but what exactly are you hiding when it comes to Kurisu?
Trying to learn the truth isn't always the answer.
That's just what you think. You won't even give me the information I need to make that choice.
It's dangerous. You know you were just attacked, right?
I don't want to be a coward who just hides behind her knight in shining armor. I'm a scientist. I don't want to give up on trying to reach the truth, no matter how dangerous that might be.
Just don't understand.
If Kurisu was here, she'd probably say the same thing, wouldn't she?
I was startled. Maho was right. I remembered having the same conversation with Kurisu. It was when we were looking into CERN, I think.
You're gonna have to tell her, man.
Daru!
Harutan doesn't look like anything you say is gonna convince her.
Yeah, it's not.
It's probably more dangerous to be involved and not know what the deal is, right? Only if what you're saying is true, though.
Daru had a point. At this rate, Maho could very well get herself in deep trouble without realizing what she'd done. Just the fact that she was carrying Kurisu's belongings made her a part of the Third World War, but she had no idea. That computer wasn't just something to remember an old friend by anymore. It was at the center of an international power struggle. Russian-speaking arsonists had forced their way into Kurisu's home in America. Afterwards, mysterious men claiming to be in the FBI had searched Dr. Leskovin's lab. This whole thing was on the verge of exploding, and people like me were nothing in the face of a war between nations. It'll mean telling her about Suzuha. You okay with that, Daru?
You don't have a choice, do we?
I turned back towards Maho. Yajo, you promise me one thing. You're a scientist, and I believe a very logical person. Don't let your emotions lead you into doing something stupid. Don't do anything rash. Don't be like I once was. What I'm about to tell you is hard to believe. You may think it's impossible, but it's true, so...
Get to the point. What is it you want me to promise?
Don't get any ideas about saving Kurisu Makise.
What?
Her mouth hung open, like she didn't understand what she just heard.
Save Kurisu?
Can't promise that. I won't tell you anything. So what will it be?
Does that mean it's possible that I could save her?
You may think so, but I'm telling you right now that there isn't.
What did I just say? I can't give you my answer until I've been given the information I need to decide. Tell me everything.
I took a deep breath and began to tell her the story. I told her about the time machine, about Suzuha, and about the Third World War, and about the relationship between Kurisu and Dr. Nakabachi. And that was what was supposedly Dr. Nakabachi's theory was actually based off of Kurisu's writings. I told her that the original copy of Kurisu's work might be hidden on her laptop or hard drive. And I told her that Russia and America might be fighting over it. As for how Kurisu died, I decided to skip that. Maho was silent the whole time I spoke, with a confused expression on her face. She looked like a girl who just graduated to middle school and was standing at the string of equations on a blackboard that were nothing like she'd ever seen before. Her expression didn't change even when I finished.
Is this true? It's not made up?
Maho was asking Daru, not me.
Yeah.
Can't bring yourself to believe it?
That's not it. It's just so different from what I was expecting that I'm having a hard time processing it.
What were you expecting?
I thought it might be about using Amadeus for military purposes.
Military purposes.
She spent a lot of time at the psychophysiology lab. She said sometimes she'd be visited by people who looked like they didn't belong there at all. She said she thought they were from the Department of Defense.
Russia, the FBI, and now the United States Department of Defense. This is getting even more suspicious. Did Amadeus kill someone? How?
Well, for example, you could take the memories of a veteran pilot and copy them, then use them to control drones. I remember what I said about medical applications?
You mean copying memory data back to the brain?
Yeah. If you could alter memory data and then send it back to the brain, you could make soldiers who didn't feel fear, who could carry out any kind of unethical mission without hesitation.
Wow, sounds like a Hollywood movie.
Does this really mean reality had caught up to books and movies?
My thought was that Kursu had found proof that they were running experiments like that.
And that's why they went after her?
Yeah.
Maho picked up the laptop. Its red body was evidently made out of some kind of magnesium alloy, and it was a lot lighter than it looked.
Never expected a time machine, though.
Either way, we should destroy it immediately.
Without looking to see what's inside, we don't know for sure that it's got what you're talking about.
Doesn't matter what's inside it. As long as it still exists, it could start a war. She still didn't seem satisfied.
But it's proof that Kursu was alive once. It's what she left to us. You can't just get rid of it.
If you learn what's inside it, they might come after you next.
It's true, but
This wasn't working. Maybe I needed to try another approach. Surely you asked Kursu about the password, right? Amadeus.
of course, that was the first thing I tried.
But it didn't work, right? Maho nodded. That's strange, right? Normally she'd know. But the Amadeus Kursu didn't know what it was. There's only one possibility then. Kursu herself changed the password without Amadeus knowing. Why do you think she did that? Isn't it because she didn't want anyone knowing what it was? Let's not dig up the graves of the dead, okay?
Dig up her grave. It's not like that. I'm sorry. You're right. Maybe I'm getting too obsessed with Kursu.
I know you really care about her. But you shouldn't get involved with this. This might not be Pandora's box. It might be the gate to hell.
Get a grip, dude.
Would you stop? Mao hugged the laptop tight to her chest and sighed.
Alright, Okabe. I understand what's going on. Still haven't finished getting it all straight in my head, though. I'll get rid of this laptop.
Thanks. I was so glad she understood. You really are amazing.
How do you figure that?
A normal person would just refuse to accept all this, or even if they didn't, they'd ask a ton of questions.
You're giving me too much credit. Usually I wouldn't even bother refuting this. I wouldn't even listen. Normally a scientist should never deny any possibility, no matter how improbable. But we have a tendency to put too much faith in common sense in our own theories.
And why is it different this time?
Because Kursu Makise is involved.
Maho's smile was bitter.
Time travel theory? A time leap machine? You're joking. That's impossible. But it wouldn't be impossible for Kursu. She's always been the one who proved that everything I thought I knew was wrong.
I see. That's right. Her Amadeus login ID was Salieri. I almost said that, but stopped myself. It seemed to me like that ID held some kind of gloomy meaning to her as a scientist.
So about my pay, I've actually already used all the money Mahotan gave me to reserve this month's H Games.
You're terrible.
That's what I do for this job for.
It's fine, I won't ask for my money back. I didn't expect much when I asked you anyway.
Just so we're clear, another 3 days and I would have cracked the passwords. Totes serious.
Sure, whatever.
Maho smiled and turned back to me.
By the way, I want to see proof of this.
Proof?
You've got it somewhere, right? This time machine. And I want to talk to Suzuha, too.
Well, I don't know about that. Daru had agreed to it, but still, I told Maho about the time machine without asking Suzuha. We'd just gotten into a fight, and I really didn't want to bring this up with her. But even showing Maho the time machine would mean I'd need to get Suzuha's permission, and that made it difficult. Daru, why don't you talk to Suzuha for me instead? Before I could finish my sentence, the intercom of the desk beeped.
What is it? I'm busy now.
His tone was the same as ever, but I didn't miss the sudden flash of tension across Daru's face. Got a bad feeling about this.
Hello? Is something wrong?
Daru flipped through several channels on the security monitor as he continued to talk on the phone. All 6 monitors had been displaying the interior of the store, but now they showed the entrance to the building, the emergency exit, the corridors, the elevator hall, and the emergency stairs. So we had cameras not just inside the building, but outside it too? But this was no time to be impressed. The images were covered in white, snowy static, but I could see strange figures on the screens. Who are these guys? The entrance to the building. The 1st floor elevator hall. The 7th floor elevator hall. The 7th floor emergency stairs, and in front of the cosplay shop. There had been nothing there a moment ago, but now there were 4 men standing in each of those 5 places. They were silent and did not speak to one another. There were around 20 of them in all. Some of them were wearing suits, others typical Akihabara fashions, yet others were wearing military camo. Individually, none of them would really stand out in Akihabara, but the fact that so many people had all come to this lonely building at once seemed terrifying.
Okie dokie, I'm abandoning this location. You bail out when you get a chance too. See you.
Definitely he'd been talking to the man at the front counter. He put down the intercom and looked at us.
So yeah, we're getting out of here.
What?
Daru pulled out a backpack and began tossing hard drives, memory cards, and other pieces of equipment into it.
I'll take that laptop too, please.
Maho stood there blinking as she handed him Kurisu's laptop and hard drive. Hey, who are those people?
Are they after Kurisu's PC?
Couldn't say. I cause a lot of trouble. This has happened before. Well, that's why I keep this job a secret.
Seriously?
Daru took the laptop and hard drive from Maho, threw them into the backpack, then slid it onto his bag. How are we getting out of here anyway? They're standing right outside the door.
It's a shame because I like this place. Finally time to say goodbye, huh?
Despite his tone, his expression was still serious. He walked to the corner of the room. There was a life-size poster of a golden-haired Vocalo stuck to the wall.
Excuse me, Rintan.
Daru carefully took the poster off the wall, making sure not to damage it. There was a glass door hidden behind it, which led out to a concrete veranda.
This way.
Wait, that was how he was going to escape? This was the 7th floor, right? There wasn't time to worry about it. Daru went out to the veranda without bothering to wait for us. I pushed Maho forward and urged her to go ahead of me. The veranda was filled with junk, just like the inside. The floor was covered with old PCs and monitors, as well as old arcade games that were clearly broken. There was barely any place to stand. But that meant that as long as you ducked down a little, there was probably no way you could be seen from outside. Maybe he'd set this up deliberately so he could use it in case of an emergency. From there, we escaped like we were in a spy movie. We removed the board that connected this veranda to the next one, moved down to the room at the edge of the building, and then used the emergency ladder to get to the 2nd floor. It was an empty space that Daru rented with some of his acquaintances, and we were able to use the bathroom to escape to an unused room in the next building. My blood ran cold when Daru got a call that the men in front of the cosplay shop had broken in. From there, we planned to escape from the next building's emergency exit. The emergency exit there led out to a different alleyway than the one we'd originally come in, so in theory they shouldn't have been able to find us. But we were naive. The narrow alleyway between the two buildings was dark and deserted. They were waiting for us there, as if they'd known exactly where we were going. We were caught off guard, and before we could run, one of them grabbed Maho. And then there was no way for us to resist. They grabbed Daru and me, twisted our arms behind our backs, and slammed us to the ground. But it wasn't the group who'd attacked us in the building. They were all wearing full face masks, motorcycle suits, and leather jackets. One of them, the girl holding down Maho, was clearly a woman. There was only one woman I knew who'd attack us while dressed like that.
Don't yell. Do what we tell you.
I was right. I knew that voice. I could tell even with her helmet hiding her face.
Otherwise, she's dead.
She held Maho with her left arm and took out a military knife with her right. She put the knife up to Maho's throat. Don't do it! The horrible memories came flooding back to me. Whether it had happened in a different world line or not, the merciless voice that had taken my Yuri from me was right here.
My Yorishina is not needed.
I gritted my teeth so hard it hurt and glared at the woman in the motorcycle suit. Give you what you want, so don't do it. I forced myself to speak, and the woman in the motorcycle suit took the knife away from Maho's neck. She handed... Oops. Then she took off her helmet.
Or...
Moeka, Kiryu, so it was you after all.
Where is it?
Her eyes were completely devoid of emotion. Just like they were on August 13th. I was forced off the ground by one of the others. But my arm was still twisted upwards. I tried as hard as I could not to scream from the pain. First, let go of my hand. I can't even talk like this. Moeka slightly nodded to the other men. The hand that was holding me drew back. I could finally move again. Daru was released too, and he stood up, mumbling something. But Maho was still in their hands.
Trade it for Dr. Hyajo.
Daru, give me your backpack.
Oh, right.
Daru was about to take off his backpack.
Don't do it! Don't give it to her!
Hyajo, stay quiet. She will kill you. It's not just a threat.
What?
Would Kursu be happy if you died over her paper? Maho looked like a small child on the verge of tears. Still glaring at Moeka, I took the laptop and hard drive out of the backpack. This is it.
Hand me the backpack too.
Let Hyajo go first. She didn't respond. Fine then. I'd have to bluff. If you want the password to decrypt it, don't think about cheating us. Put the two items back into the backpack and handed it over to her. It was all I could do to keep my voice from quaking. Nobody can boot this thing up without the right password. Hackers all over the world have tried and failed. I'll tell you once our safety is guaranteed. I don't want to get killed the moment we hand it over. Of course, I had no clue what the password was. If they found that out, we were doomed. Daru was giving me a questioning glance. I ignored it. Your damn mouth shut, Daru.
You're right.
Alright, she fell for it. That meant...
Then one of you is coming with me.
Huh?
We'll let two of you go immediately. If the password is correct, we'll let the other one go as well.
Damn, that's not good enough. No, can't be here. The one who stays will be safe.
Then all three of you come with us.
Ugh. This woman. I could feel cold sweat on my back. I'd never been involved in a life or death deal before, and I had no idea what to do next.
Daru Hashida, come this way.
What? Me?
We're told you're a specialist. The backpack over here.
No,
If you come, we'll leave the other two here.
Wait, then I'll go. That's fine, right?
Superiors told me nothing about you. I can't even say if you really know the password.
Damn, she saw through me. Mocha put the knife back to Maho's neck.
Zaruhashida, come quickly.
I'd rather hear that line said in a more erotic situation.
Daru was joking, but his whole body was shaking. What do I do? I'm going to kill Daru. Thought as fast and as hard as I could, but nothing came to me. In this world line, Daru was going to live until 2036 and complete the time machine. That much was clear from Suzuha's testimony. The world lines were going to converge. Even if Mocha took Daru here, he wouldn't be killed. Right? No, but that didn't mean I could leave him here. One of the men with Mocha was looking at his watch. She noticed it too. They might have felt that they were taking too much time with the kidnapping done in broad daylight. I hoped that somebody might wander by, but there was no counting on that stroke of luck. I needed to solve this myself instead of relying on others.
Do I need to kill someone first?
I felt a cold knife pressed hard against my carotid artery.
Ocarine!
Ow!
Daru and Maho were screaming, but suddenly it all seemed unreal, like it was taking place in a distant world. They say that's what happens whenever someone is confronted with their own death, and it was happening to me now. I can't die either way, right? I tried asking myself that. I tried asking Suzuha, even though she wasn't here. I tried asking the world. Of course, nobody answered. The fact that I might not die didn't mean I could do something stupid here. A normal college kid like me would be too scared to move once they had a knife to their neck. I'd seen people die many times and I'd almost been killed, but I never did get used to it. Thoughts of Kursu's blood came back into my mind and I almost suffered a flashback. My body shook and it was all I could do to keep from collapsing to the ground. Was there nothing else I could do? Just when I was about to give up, a black van pulled up and braked hard at one end of the alley, blocking us in. The sliding door opened and out poured men carrying assault rifles. They were all wearing gray military uniforms and face masks. Their eyes were the eyes of trained soldiers. In their huge frames and the color of their skin, it was clear that they weren't Japanese. I immediately realized that this was all real. It wasn't cosplay or anything like that. Those guns were real and a battle was about to begin. My experience with the August 13th attack and the war zone I'd lived in until only a few days ago came back to me. Everyone hide! It didn't matter who was a friend or foe. Malka moved the instant I spoke. She saw the attackers and jumped into the shadow of a nearby building. The other rounders spread out too. They let go of Maho, who was standing up, confused in the middle of the alley. Maho, get down! The man who was holding me was the only one who reacted a bit too slowly. There was a sharp noise and a bullet went through the helmet of the rounder who was holding a knife to my throat. As he went down, I went down with him and I hit the ground hard. The impact made me let go of Daru's backpack, while the other rounders grabbed it off the ground and ran the opposite direction of the van. A man got out of the van, evidently the commander, and barked orders in what sounded like Russian. One of the soldiers turned the gun on the fleeing rounder. Her body flew up off the ground as both she and the backpack were torn open. The contents of the backpack fell to the ground, scattering across the asphalt. The laptop and hard drive were hit with more gunfire than possibly could have been necessary. Kursu's laptop and hard disk were turned to unrecognizable scrap in just a few seconds. I crawled behind a light pole without even bothering to look. It really all happened in an instant. I looked around and the Russian soldiers were running towards us. Malka and her rounders had vanished at some point, leaving only the two bodies. The soldiers silently recovered the remains of the laptop and hard disk, picked up the bodies of the two rounders, and got right back into their van. They didn't even pause to look at us. There were only a couple of minutes between the time when they arrived and when they left. All that were left were little fragments lying on the ground. The blood from two bodies. Ma, who was lying on the ground and shaking. Daru, who was standing in shock behind one of the buildings. And me, lying on the ground. My heart had been pounding the whole time. I only felt the pain in my neck after it was all over. Evidently the knife had cut me a little when I'd fallen. A while later, we finally heard the sirens of a police car. And it was only then I remembered that I was in Akihabara, Japan. The Third World War may have started long ago and we just didn't know it. I realized that in the face of a war between nations, we truly were powerless. And I think that is a pretty good place to cut it. We have unlocked the true ending, hopefully. I'm really hoping that I didn't mess things up by missing that one Rhine message. I don't think I did, because none of the guides that I looked at said that I had to open it. So, either way, we're on the way to the true ending. But for now, thank you all so much for following my playthrough of Steins Gate 0, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now!